but we got to get to this beam that's right here, right? So we'll build something that's like this with the rim joist already on it. So we're at a building in St. John here on Duke Street, 230, that we've been working away at and trying to save for the last year. Vacant2Vibrant really is an initiative designed to save buildings and utilize as best we can the vacant buildings that we have for affordable housing needs. We've been trying to develop an acquisition fund for the past 2 years. This is part of our first 2 projects. We have this one and one on Bay Street. And this one was the hardest of them all, really, that we can imagine. We had actually a 3-story, where you see this deck here, we actually had a 3-story structure that went to the end of the property line that had to be completely removed because it had been coming off the foundation. So we were able to salvage this 4-story section. So we'll have 4 units in there. And then we plan to eventually rebuild an extension on the back here, either a different building or something like that. Plans are still in the works. Then we have a project on Bay Street on the west side. So this load-bearing wall is just sitting on a beam. Very common that they used to do back in those days, right? Is they rested on a big old piece of rock over there. And so we've really had to carve out a new approach. So we've been utilizing people, private investors who will lend to us for short-term periods of time while we line up some of those provincial and municipal pots of money. But we've also developed a training program called Hammers to Homes that we deliver with New Brunswick Community College, helping people get some micro-credentials in the trades. For example, this deck was built by our students. They come up with a micro-credential in residential deck construction. That helps draw down the cost of renovation. But right now, the good news story about Duke Street, despite its difficulties and its delays, is that we are still around $95 a square foot. I need to sister on 5 joists here, but we'll have 2 2-bedrooms and 2 1-bedroom units. And then on the back side where we're standing now, we plan to develop an additional 6 to 8 bachelor units. But our project really is identifying 80 units. That's our goal. Banks don't like lending on abandoned buildings. They really see them as high risk, and when you layer on the fact that we're a nonprofit, it's out of their world. They're never going to do it. So if we as a community and we as government and whatnot are going to solve this problem, we have to make funding available at that level. So hopefully as we get that word out, not only is our construction process refined and our partnerships defined, but we also have the province, possibly even the federal government, on board to provide program support, which they currently do not.